Join me for another update. I'm going to take you into the greenhouse, I'm going to have a look around the garden, and I'm going to give you a bit of a sneak peek of some of the videos that are coming up soon. So stick around and enjoy the video. The weather is certainly dipping in temperature. We're having a bit more rain. We've actually had some serious winds since about Thursday this week. It's caused a bit of damage to my shed, which I need to sort out. I'm actually trying to decide whether I just get a new shed at some point. I need something a bit bigger than what I have right now. The season is starting to wind down. The greenhouse is still quite active. A lot of the peppers are still coming through, a lot of new peppers. And we also have a lot of the peppers ripening up. So bit of a sad time of the year, but also quite an exciting time of the year. This is when I'm making a lot of my sauces. So before I take you around the greenhouse and for a bit of a tour around the garden, I'm gonna just give you a bit of a sneak peek on some of the sauce videos that are coming up soon. There's quite a few things bubbling away, so let's go have a look. These here are some fermentations that I'm working on at the moment. They'll be in some future videos that I'll be releasing in the next couple months. It takes a bit of time to do the editing as well as take some time to do the fermenting. I find that people really don't like it when you split videos into parts, so I tend to release the whole video all at once, because obviously this takes some time. When I started the fermentation, some of these are about a month old at the moment, some of them even longer, but these ones here are about a month old. I've started the video showing the fermentation process, and then I'll be finishing off the video with actually making the sauce, and I tend to like to put them all together in one video. But let me know in the comments below if you prefer that I split them out into multiple videos and you see the progress over time. Maybe that's something you prefer. Just let me know. I promised quite a while ago that I'll be showing a buffalo wing sauce, and not only are you getting one, but you're getting two. So that's coming up probably in about another 2 or 3 weeks. I think it'll be ready for me to do the next stages of the process. There's a few other little surprises back here. I'm going to blur out some of the labels. I don't want to give away too much, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see what these turn out to be. I've also filmed myself making my pear cider this year. It turned out really well last year. I didn't film it though, and I thought it'd be a good idea maybe to film it this year. If you do have pears or some apples or any other fruit trees, it shows you how easy it is to actually brew your own hard cider. So that video as well will be coming up in the next month or so. Hopefully that's something else you guys will enjoy. So the weather might be getting colder, but the greenhouse is showing no sign of letting up. Still loads and loads of peppers. A few less on this tree because I've just picked a whole bunch for a sauce I'm making. Probably about 2 pounds off the bushes over here. These are my peri-peris, and that'll also be a video that's coming up very soon. But here you can see there's quite a few green still need to ripen up, and that shouldn't take too long. Bit of a Rastafarian one over there. Let's get inside the greenhouse and close the doors. So here's my Cardi MOA bonnets. You can't really see how big they are until I put my hand there, but I have very big hands, and you can see the size of that. Beautiful, beautiful pepper. We only have a few on here like I showed you the last time, but they are going to be rather spicy. So one of those plants that are a bit of a late bloomer. I think you need a much longer season. You can see there's a few small ones that are still growing, but doubt I'll get too many more off this tree. Over here, the Frankenstein plant. Really are looking beautiful, these pods. Quite a few growing up the top here as well, but still very green. And again, it's questionable whether I'll actually get too many more ripe ones off here, but we'll give it a go. Maybe we'll have a bit of an Indian summer. These are my 7-pot habaneros. They are just such beautiful pods. I really do like them. And we have quite a few. We have quite a few on here that are still needing to ripen up, but we have a lot that are ripe already. And I have actually picked a few of these, and I've popped them into a couple sauces I have. I think it's time for me to pick some of these as well. I showed them on the last video. I've been rather busy the last couple of weeks, so getting in here and being able to actually do some harvesting has been a bit of a challenge. Hopefully I'll have a bit more time this weekend to actually do some harvesting. I don't want these peppers going to waste. Already I'm thinking about next year. It's just the way it goes, I think, in growing these peppers. You're constantly thinking about what next. Part of that is what's next for the greenhouse, what seeds I'm going to be growing, and I'll actually be doing a video on my choices there. Show you some of the places that I get my seeds, and we'll also talk about which plants I will be growing next year. But I'm also thinking through some ideas of what I'm going to do in terms of video content for you guys. I want to keep the content fresh, and I don't want to bore you all. So, I'm always open to suggestions. If you've got some, put them down in the comments below if there's something you want to see. I've got some ideas anyway, which I think you will all like. So, I think I'm pretty good for at least the next 6 months or so. So let me know in the comments below if there is a specific video you'd like to see. Always happy to do what I can. I was told in the last video how to pronounce these. These are Numex Bailey Pekin, I think it was. But anyway, whatever they are, I will be picking these and definitely doing something with them. Hopefully today if I have some time, or else it'll be tomorrow afternoon. But we've got quite a lot of nice ripe ones there. I'm hoping I have about a pound, because that's what I'm going to need for the sauce I'm going to be making. So we can see some pepper juice. There's a lot of ripe ones and a lot of ones that I've let go a bit beyond ripe. But there's also a lot of ones that are still coming through. So still got a lot of peppers to go this season. It is September. Well, it's coming up to almost the end of September now. We still have quite a few peppers here. There's the benefit of having a greenhouse, I guess, protects them from the really crappy weather. I've been picking loads and loads of my cayenne, but still got quite a few coming through, and I'll probably get another 2 or 3 pounds of cayenne peppers. I've already picked maybe about 4 pounds of cayenne. Something else I wanted to point out. Let me try and show you. If you look here, this is wire that I've set up, and I'm probably going to have to reinforce this a little bit because it's really taking a bit of heavy weight over there. But I put wire all along the side panels of the greenhouse so that I can help support my plants, like you can see here. But I've kind of run out of space, and also with the size of these plants, what I'm ending up doing is I'm using anything I can tie to. So you can see I'm just using the cross beams now. This plant here is just massive. It's one of the cayennes. And this thing here was leaning over. I couldn't even walk inside the greenhouse, but it still is leaning over. But at least now it's supported, so it shouldn't break down the bottom there. And also, have a look at these. I mean, honestly, I thought that the season was pretty much done, but look at all this new growth. It's insane. So yeah, I've still got loads of peppers to go. We'll see. The season's going very well for me this year. We've been quite lucky with the weather in the UK. Back here, the Naga Brain chocolates. Those are scary pods as well. I've got an idea for these too. These are damn hot, but I've got an idea for them. We'll see how that works out. Like I say, I've probably got another month or so before these plants are going to start looking very sorry for themselves. So we'll make the most of it, but not all sad, because we're going to be starting to plan what's going on next year. In fact, let me go show you something that might be interesting for you. I'm sure you've seen in previous videos the small greenhouse that I have here just outside the house. It's not an ideal position to actually grow things throughout the season because the house blocks a lot of the light. However, I'm sure you've also seen when I start my seeds, I tend to use my wife's dressing room to actually start them off, which I don't think she's really pleased about. She doesn't complain, but can't be great for her. What I'm doing this year is I'm actually going to use this thing over here. So let me just show you what I'm going to be doing. So I've already done a bit of tidying. I know it doesn't really look like it. I need to move some stuff out of here. But here we can see I've put these tables. They're at pretty much the same sort of height. So these two tables, I managed to get them to fit exactly, I mean literally within millimeters of each other on the sides. So I was quite chuffed about that. These were just spare tables I had in the garage. And that's going to be where the seeds will be started. Now, if you've watched my videos when I start my seeds, or if you watch my beginner's guide, you'll know that I use these trays. Once I've got through the germination stage, I use these two trays. So I needed something that I could fit these two trays on, and obviously I needed a bit of space to work. So like I say, half of the stuff will be moved away, so I'll have more space. And what I'm going to do is my frame over here, this is for the lights. that I put on. I am going to put lights in here because, again, in winter you're not going to get a ton of light during that time. So we'll be putting the lights in here. At the back there you can see there's a bit of a heating bar. It's not a terribly strong one. I think it's 25 watts or something around there. It's not very strong. And I have a temperature monitor over here, these Inkbirds, so I can set minimum temperature before this thing kicks in. So that plugs in and that's attached to it, so I can at least keep the temperature. I don't want to heat this up. I don't want it to be 20 degrees Celsius, but I need it to be at least above freezing temperatures. So that's the idea, and obviously I'll be documenting all that. A little bit nervous about it because I don't want to kill all my plants. It'll really set me back, but we've got time to do it. I'm going to be starting my seeds around about January, early January, and I will be filming the whole lot. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see how I get on, see whether I actually make a successful grow next year using this method, or whether I completely mess it up. So lastly, a quick look around the garden. For you guys that have watched a lot of my older videos, you would know that where my shed is, there were a ton of these small trees. You can see the base of them over there. But there were a ton of these small trees over here, and it really blocked this area off. It made this seem a lot smaller than it actually was. I didn't realize how big my shed actually was. That thing's pretty large. Yeah, and there's the damage I talked about with the storm we had. You can see the felt on the roof is all coming off. I need to sort that out. But I'm thinking of getting a larger shed, probably just a little bit bigger, maybe 2 foot wider. And then another thing I want to do is maybe chickens at some point. So we'll see, maybe. Another form of compost for me, and eggs for us in the house. Not a lot to show you here with the veggie patch. These are really starting to just die off. We've got still the same gem squashes over there, quite a few of them. So we'll be picking some of those today as well, because I think we're having a barbecue tonight, or a braai. These, I don't think I'm going to get any more corn. I think these will just die off. It's not going to get enough sunlight. I've been adding grass and a few other bits and pieces, just again to lay a base for the compost I'm going to add on top, which is back there. So there's the compost pile. We've been adding loads. That there is all chipped up trees that I took from there. So we're reusing everything in the garden and not wasting a thing. But all that there is going to, once it turns into compost, obviously in the next couple of months, we're going to be laying it down over here. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye bye for now.